Let's work on the My Orders page, and for that I'll create a new folder in the Containers folder. I'll name it Orders, and in there I will obviously create a orders.js file, which is the container for the orders. This will be created with the class keyword. Class order extends component is the code I want to write there. And in there, I'll import React and component to be able to create the component in this way. And then I'll export this class, this order class, orders class as the default. Now in there, we obviously will have a render method where we return the JSX for this component. The question, of course, is what do we want to render in there? I want to output my orders in this page, obviously. For that, I'll create a new component in the order component folder, the order component itself, order.js and order.css. And now the question, of course, is how should a single order look like in this page? Well, I will create it as a function. I will receive props and I will return some JSX. Obviously, as always, we import React from React here, and we export this function as the file default. With that, our order should be a div, which will receive some styling in the end, of course. And I simply want to output the ingredients and the price here, let's say. So I want to have something like a paragraph here. In that paragraph, I could say ingredients, colon, and then here I have the ingredients like salad, and then in parentheses thereafter the amount, like 1 or something like that. And then I might have something like the price also in a paragraph, and in strong text to emphasize it, then the value like US dollar 5.45. This is how one order should look like, and of course the ingredients and the price is something I will need to receive via props. So I also need some styling though. I'll create an order CSS class in the order CSS file. An order should span the full width, let's say. So width 100%. I want to have a border of 1 pixel solid and this gray color. And I'll add a box shadow of 0, 2 pixel, 3 pixel, and this gray color. Change the border color to a slightly brighter one. I'll add some padding, 10 pixels. I'll add a margin, let's say 10 pixels top and bottom, but none to left and right. I'll set the box sizing to border box so that the padding is included in the box size. And with that, this should be a nicely looking order. I can now import the classes from this CSS file, from the order CSS file, and assign them here. So class name can now be classes.order. So this is how one order should look like. In the orders component, I obviously want to output multiple orders, actually as many orders as needed. And the orders I need to output, of course, should be fetched from the backend. Now, for that, I'll first of all go to Firebase, and actually, I'm going to clean up my orders here because I got so many. So to make this easier, I'll delete the whole orders node, and simply I'll create some new ones thereafter. I'll also set meat to 0 again so that we start with an empty burger. Now, with that, let's go back to the application, and in here, in the orders component, let's for now just output one dummy order. So I'll import that order component we just created, and then I'll navigate into the components folder, into the order folder, and grab that order.js file. And then here in JSX, as I said, here I'll have a wrapping div around this page, and there I'll actually just output, let's say, 2 orders so that we can see how that looks like. Now, before we populate this with real data, let's load this route. And the orders page should of course be loaded instead of the burger builder or the checkout page. So it's in the app.js file where we set the routes up, where I also want to set up a route for the orders. For that, I'll first of all import orders from /containers/. slash orders slash orders.js. And then I'll add this new route here for, let's say, slash orders. I want to go to the orders component. That's the route setup in app.js. Now, to view this route, we'll have to do something which we haven't done yet. We have to add a link. And for that, we actually have to touch our navigation items here. Let's do this in the next lecture.